the thumbs up. So, Atma Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shamanaji Jayasji, for having me here for session 2 of the Financial Healing series on prosperity symbols. We are going to be doing the prosperity symbols part of it right now. In fact, I'm just setting the presentation here up on my laptop. One quick question that I had is, what's the difference in the size of your auras compared to 1 week ago and today? What's the difference that you have felt? If you could just put that in the chat. And as you would have understood by now, my style is that I like a lot of audience participation, where I'm always asking for feedback. How are you doing? How's the energy? What's the difference you're feeling? So if you could put on a, say, last week to this week, you're a 4 out of 10, and this week you're like a 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, that would really help, because then I know that the energy is taking effect, that there is a difference. So a before and after, if you would please. So all the scanning is going on. And while you're doing that, let me just quickly load the presentation.
One will be blessed with faith, abundance, and prosperity by giving and sharing generously. One is actually giving oneself many this positive karmic effect will inevitably manifest. There is only one single God, who is only
6 out of 10. From 5 out of 10, it became a 7 out of 10. There's an 8 out of 10. All right. Now, one question following up after this. Have you noticed that there are some thoughts in your mind that have come up which you did not notice before? And I'm talking specifically on thoughts connected to finance and money. Have you noticed any areas where you are looking at opportunities and you're wondering about whether this is a good opportunity or not, whether this is something that you can look forward to, or even, so that's the positive side, you're looking at attracting something. Second side is when you're looking at cutting something off. So remember in the why for money we spoke about, is the motivation a positive one or is the motivation a negative one? How many of you remember that? How many of you remember that part? The motivation for money being a positive one where I want something, and a negative one where I want to avoid a certain situation, whatever that situation is. Have you noticed your thoughts? And this is what I would like to know, whether it is a more positive oriented thought or it's an avoidance oriented thought. Are you looking for the pursuit of happiness, or are you looking to avoid pain avoidance? Which one is it that you are looking towards? So this you'll need to kind of put that in the chat, of course. So most of them are saying that it's very positive. Yes, it's mostly positive. It's mostly positive. Okay, now this is a question for the pranic healers. What comes first, cleansing or energizing? What comes first, cleansing or energizing? Cleansing. Cleansing. Okay, one person says it's cleansing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, the thing comes cleansing. So now the question that I want to ask you and what I want to think about is, if you've been thinking about positive opportunities, is it more an energizing or is it more of a cleansing? Think about it. If you're thinking of positive opportunities, positive oriented, is that a cleansing thing or is it an energizing thing? Which one do you think it is? Why do you think it's that way? Many of you are saying it's energizing. Why do you think it's that way? Because it fills you up with energy, that I'm looking at positive situations, so I'm filled up with energy. Is that one thing? Or is it because that you are filled yourself up with an expectation, with an anticipation that something good is on the way, something good is coming? Chances are that it's probably a combination of both of the two. That I'm thinking more positive, that I want more positive. Now, are you familiar with the term called priming? P-R-I-M-I-N-G. I'll put that in the chat for everybody. Priming. Are you familiar with the term priming? No? Yes? Yes? Okay, so it's a mixed bag. It's a 50-50 yes, no kind of thing. So then for the benefit of everybody, what I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about priming, and then of course I'll pull on the presentation over here. Priming is when your mind is geared towards looking for something that it has been told to look for. Very shortly put. Priming is when your mind, when your subconscious and your superconscious are trained to look at something, have been told to look at something, and they will look at it. Okay, they're going to ignore all the other kind of feedback and they're going to look for that one because they have been primed to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, I'm priming you right now that your eyes are going to pick up the color red around you. Your eyes are going to pick up the color red around you. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to look around your entire room, left to right, all through, and count the number of red objects that are there around you. So ready? No cheating. I didn't say go yet. I didn't say go yet. Why did we say go yet? Because we like to do these things starting with an invocation first. So I've got your feedback, I've got your inputs. What we're going to do is we're going to invoke for divine help, divine guidance, divine protection. So that's always the first thing, right? Before we start anything, always invoke. How many of you agree? Yeah. How many of you agree? Yeah. All right. Fantastic. So let's sit with our spine straight. Let's sit in a very relaxed position. Okay. Let's connect your tongue to the palate. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a very deep breath in and exhale. Inhale slowly and deeply. Exhale slowly and deeply. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to my spiritual teacher, to all the spiritual teachers, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, beings of light, and spiritual helpers, with the help and blessings of the angels of prosperity and abundance, with the help of the angels of pranic healing and arhatic yoga, with the help and blessings of my higher soul, I invoke for the blessings of divine love, divine light, divine power, for healing, divine healing, physical healing, psychological healing. Thank you for your priceless blessings of love, light, and power, for healing, guidance, help, and protection. Thank you for guiding my thoughts, my words, and my actions, and the thoughts, words, and actions of every person, every being who I will interact with. Thank you for blessing me with prosperity consciousness, with the ability to identify opportunities, to pursue happiness and prosperity, to become wealthy, and to use the wealth, to be blessed with the wisdom to use this wealth for the benefit of the world and humanity. We thank you. We thank you in full faith. Now take a deep breath. Now for all the Arhatic yogis, you know what to do. Gratitude, respect, and love. Inhale, very deep breath. Be aware of the gratitude. Give the gratitude. Then take another deep breath with deep respect. And then with lots of love, with all our love, we thank you in full faith. And then as you exhale, with another deep breath, exhale. Open your eyes with a big smile. How do you feel? Aura size, before, after, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, feeling good, feeling happy, right? All right. So priming is when you are being told to look for something, to look for a certain sign or shape or object or whatever it is, and your mind automatically picks that out. So now we're going to start now, where I'll ask you to look around, take a sweep of your room visually, slowly in a controlled manner. You have 30 seconds. Find out the number of red objects you have. Find out the number of red objects that you have. Okay, it's okay if it's a little maroon, it's okay if it's a little, bright red. Just look around for all the red objects in your vicinity. And when you find them, just put that in the chat. 7, 7, 15, 10, 8. Okay, that's good. That's very good. 1, 8. All right, now I have a question for you. And the question I have is, how many green objects did you see? How many green objects did you see? You didn't see anything, right? You didn't see a single green object. Okay, but please look around and tell me how many green objects are actually there. Look around. How many green objects there are? Plants qualify, books qualify, the color of your wall qualifies. Do you notice that there are green objects there as well? Okay, you didn't notice it, correct? You didn't notice it. Which means that there are these things which are there around us, but because we are focused, we've been told to focus on one thing, your mind focuses on that one thing alone, completely ignoring the presence of the other objects. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now, if I ask you how many of those red objects were square or circular or spherical or something, you would be able to say, with some amount of accuracy that these were square, whatever it is. And now if I ask you how many square objects were green, you can get an idea as well. Likewise, if I repeated the experiment with any other color, you would have an answer. However, by virtue of the fact that you've been primed to look at only the red, that's what you're seeing. Now, my question is, what is the red object that you're chasing? In your life, what is that red object that you're looking for? Are you looking for opportunities? Are you looking for people who are out to hurt you? Are you looking for people who have insulted you? Are you looking for people who you need to forgive? What are you looking at? What is your red object, your shiny red object that you're chasing? Something to think about, correct? Something to think about. Now, when you are doing prosperity healings, when we do prosperity healings, one of the things we do is we always ask people to do some purifications to find out what objects they're trying to avoid, and then we remove them. Energetically, you can remove the thought forms. For those of you who know Arhatic Yoga, you do know that you can use which technique am I talking about? The red box, right? The red box technique. Of course, there's no red box technique. We know what the color is and we know what the shape is, right? So yeah, everyone's very happy. Yes, we know, you know what we're talking about. Some secret has been unlocked. Well, if you know about it, when was the last time you practiced it in a group, huh? All right, let's have that in the chat. When was the last time you practiced that in a group? When you practice the blue triangle technique in a group to remove poverty consciousness, because you need to remove all the energies that are blockages over there, a lot of energies come out. A lot of garbage comes out and you're able to get rid of it. Okay. So in today's session, and given that, yeah, half an hour should be good enough. What we can do is I can just take one more priming exercise with you to actually drive home the point that you need to be looking at. So the presentation will be about certain objects. We'll talk about how things work, how things, these talismans and these statues and coins and all that you can place in and around your home and workplace to maximize the amount of prosperity and ease that comes to you. That is there. However, these only work if you know how to make them work. Did I say something? These only work if you know how to make them work. How do you become aware of it? You have to know the knowledge. You have to have the knowledge, you have to experiment, and then you apply. If you just apply because somebody said so, that a very handsome man came on your screen on a Monday evening and said, do it this way. And you said, yes, it's because he said so. We love it. Okay. Now he said that just to activate your heart chakras, right? For those of you who disagree, please look at brown objects. For those of you who agree, here, that's one more red object to add to your collection. I don't know. The kids do it this way, right? The kids do it this way. We older people do it that way. And some of us say Wakanda forever. I don't know, whichever one applies, whatever gets your heart activated. Whatever gets your heart activated. So I'm going to prime you with something. You're on your mobile phones. Many of you are watching this session on your mobile phones, correct? Right? Okay. So just go to your home screen. You should still be able to hear my voice. Go to your home screen and tell me how many icons there are on your home screen that have the color blue on them. On your mobile home screen. On your mobile home screen, just look at the number of icons you have that have the color blue or the color red. So 7, 2 blue, 2 red, 7 blue, 3, 1, 3 blue. All right. Fantastic. Put your phones back down, get back to the screen. That was on your home screen, right? That was on your home screen, correct? What was the time on the clock? Without looking. Without looking. What was the time on the clock? Because there's one thing that every phone has always, and that's the time on the clock. Now, if you've checked your phone later on, okay. Those of you, honestly, how many of you did not see? How many of you honestly did not see the time on your clock? Did not see, did not see. Majority of you. Do you understand how easy it is to miss out opportunities because you're so focused on something else? Do you get that? You get what I'm saying? Interesting or not interesting? Interesting or not interesting? Very interesting, right? It's right there on the middle of your phone screen. The biggest thing is the time. And you're so busy looking at this, you just missed that out. What does Master Chua say? Be still, be aware. He says, be still, be aware. Now we are aware of it because when you're looking at for the shiny icons, you can still see the time. But the awareness didn't go there. And it's literally face distance away. Interesting, correct? How many opportunities financially or relationally did you miss out because you were focused on something else? And I'll tell you a story about this. This happened with me just the day before yesterday. A client, he was doing the prayer of forgiveness. We were doing forgiveness practice together. And I promise you this is relevant to the prosperity side. We were doing forgiveness together. And this gentleman said that part of forgiveness is to cut the cord and let go, right? You've done the prayer of forgiveness? It's to cut the cord, cut, go, let go. So he says, I was doing forgiveness with two companies, two gentlemen who owe me money, who owe my business a certain amount of money. And I was like, if I forgive them because I feel angry, if I cut and let go, doesn't that mean I'm cutting off all connections for the money to come back to me? So that got me thinking, and the answer that he received was that maybe you're entitled to 10x the amount of money coming in from other sources. But you're so focused on this one or two sources that you are blinding yourself to the other greater opportunities that might just come your way. Make sense? Yes or no? So you might be looking for your red and blue icons and missing out the entire timeline of everything else that's available for you. Okay? Keeping this in mind about priming, the presentations I'll show you, there's some parts which are, some theoretical data, there's some practical data. At all points, do not try to see whether this is relevant for you or this is applicable for you. Just be aware. Don't immediately start thinking, oh, there's a laughing Buddha statue or there's a rose quartz crystal. Which one is more applicable? What should I put there? Don't be in a hurry to start asking questions the moment you see it. Be still, be aware. Are we ready? Okay. Now I will share the screen with you. Just let me know if you can see the screen, yeah? If it's visible, just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, all good, all clear, fantastic. Okay, so this was the prosperity symbols, the ancient wisdom series. We talked about the practical insights on symbols, their interpretations and all. This was done by my colleague Hengame and I. We are both part of Prana World. And yeah. Wouldn't you believe it? Wrong presentation. Wouldn't you believe it? Wrong presentation. Oops, that's an oops moment. In order to make everyone be still and be aware, I was not aware that I clicked the wrong presentation. Would you please bear with me for one moment while I quickly do this one part out? Would you please give me a minute? I want to make sure I'm delivering the highest possible quality presentation to you. Apologies for this. I'm so sorry. This is the part where you say, no, it's okay. We forgive you. We let go. You smile and you send good blessings and cheer. We're like, oh, we are expecting this and we're getting that. How can that be? We've had that happen to us. Okay, present full screen. Present. Share. Prosperity symbols. Yeah. Are you able to see the correct presentation on your screen now? Visible? Yeah. All right. Fantastic. So the first thing that you are that's being shown to you is the charm of a good luck. The good luck charm is an amulet or any other item that is expected to bring you good luck. Almost any object can be used as a charm, whether it's a coin or a horseshoe or a button. Anything is an example of a good luck charm. And you can wear some of them on your body, but it's not necessary. So how many of you have these lucky rings or a necklace or some armband on your wrist? How many of you have these that you use as a good luck charm? Chances are, if you've got it, most of you don't show it. Most good luck charms are meant to be hidden so that they don't attract the attention of untrustworthy people. The interesting thing is you can make your own good luck charm. And you can find lucky symbols in various aspects of life. Some are objects that have taken on a special meaning throughout time. Others may even be a lucky animal. Like you've heard of this term, like spirit animal. That's a different story. That's a completely different thing. It's not meant for good luck. Some of you have a lucky plant, like a lucky bamboo, or any of these things which resonate with you. Some of you have a lucky magnet. Now, the fun thing about making your own good luck charm is that it's connected to thought forms. Okay, it's connected to thought forms. Have you heard this term before? Thought forms? For those of you who've done pranic psychotherapy or Hatha yoga, you should be aware of the term thought forms. A thought form is essentially the form of something that you're thinking about. Very basic stuff. It's a form of something you're thinking about. And these thought forms, they have the ability to act on us wherever we are. So have you noticed that if you go to a certain, say you've gone to watch a crazy funny movie, you're not thinking of the problems at home, right? That might have happened. Or if you meet a certain friend, you don't think of any other problems or any other situations or work or anything, and you're just there present with your friend. You are listening to a session on prosperity, and that's the only thing you are aware of, prosperity, prosperity, prosperity. And all the other distractions have kind of faded away. These are thought forms which are acting on you, acting on your space. So if your home is filled with thought forms of poverty, thought forms of debt, of stress, etc., 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 then what kind of energy do you think you're bringing into your aura? What energy do you think you're bringing into your own chakras? Good or bad? Answers in the chat. If your home is surrounded by energies and thought forms of negativity, sadness, debt, etc., what kind of energies do you think you are bringing into your aura, good or bad? Chances are you're going to say bad, and you will be correct. You will be correct in saying that, yeah, that's bad energy coming into your system, bad thought forms. How many of you have been to a holy site for a pilgrimage? A church, a temple, a mosque, some holy location, some rarefied location. I know many of you travel to different countries to pay your respects to a specific location. You have, right? Have you felt the difference in the energy over there? Yes, I'm sure you have. Why? Because the energy and the thought forms of that particular place are acting upon you. They're basically cleaning your aura out. They're flushing your aura and chakras clean, and you are getting filled with that positive energy. And so when you come back, you feel really charged up, you feel really good, you feel really happy. Notice this, yes or no? It is possible to imbue, it is possible to feed in that same amount of positivity to any object, as long as your thought forms are powerful enough. I'll repeat, it's possible to create your own lucky object, your own lucky talisman, by filling it up with that kind of energy. Okay, and I'll give you a simple example. I have here a beautiful looking design. You can see that, right? Looks like a chakra, looks like some esoteric pattern. Can you scan and check the energy of this object, the positive energy of the object? Scan and check the positive energy of the object. And just write in the chat, how strong is it? 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Do you find that there's something? It's 11 out of 10. That's amazing. It's very strong. But what exactly is it? It's nothing but a wooden tray with the printout of some design with a coating on top. I use it to keep my cup. It's nothing but a cup holder. It's nothing but a cup holder. Funny, right? How can a simple cup holder have that much energy in it? Well, A, I primed you into thinking it's got a lot of energy. So that's one trick there. I primed you into thinking it has a lot of energy. And number two, I feel good anytime I see it. I think it was a nice investment buying this beautiful design. I feel happy when I see it. So my happiness energy keeps going over there. So the object becomes imbued, imbibed, anchored with that positive energy. So to answer a question in the chat, it is possible to create something like this for somebody. You know what's even more powerful, in which you don't need an object? Blessings after Twin Hearts meditation. Because then you're sending that energy to them directly. So you can make your own things. All these things exist. That's the theory part of it. Interesting, not interesting? Interesting, right? Yeah, okay, good stuff. So symbols often carry multiple layers of meaning. One layer is that, there are shapes, there are colors and figures that have appeared across cultures over a period of time to experience fundamental human experiences and emotions like birth, death, transformation, abundance, prosperity, good times, bad times, etc. So these archetypes, they resonate with us at a very fundamental, at a very instinctive level, even if we don't understand them, because they speak to us across the entire shared experience of human stories and emotions. Like I can ask you this question, is a birth a happy event or a sad event? Is a birth a happy event or a sad event? It's a happy event, okay, unless it's like your 50th child, in which case that's a lot of mouths to feed, okay? Yeah. Is a death a happy event or a sad event? Well, usually a sad event, unless the person was like really, really suffering, and now they're free of their suffering and the soul is at peace. Subjective, but for the most part, we can agree happy, sad, etc. Yes or no? So it's subjective, but it's there. So these symbols, they have the personal context along with them. So how you connect with a symbol in your own life can differ from the traditional or the overall interpretation of things. So your personal memories, your personal emotions, your personal experiences will influence how you perceive the energy of a symbol. And these archetypes, these overall things resonate with us at an instinctive level again. So your first reaction might be, oh, that's no good, stay away. Or, oh, that's amazing, I love it. So it depends on what experiences that you have had that shape how you feel about certain things. So first things first, about your first takeaway from this section, well, your second takeaway, the first one should be about priming. The second takeaway from this is, please surround yourself with objects that evoke a positive psychological response. Okay, you might write that down if you want to, although this is a direct quote from Master Chua's teachings. Surround yourself with objects that evoke a positive psychological response. Yeah, can we move? Okay, let's move on to the next one. So let's look at some of the prosperity symbols that you can use. Okay, and here you have coins as one of the first ones. You can see the presentation on the screen, right? The touch piece on the coins. Yeah, okay, fantastic. So a touch piece, it's a piece that you touch, that's why the name. It's a coin or a medal or a medallion, which is believed to have the ability to cure disease, to bring good luck, to influence people's behavior, or to carry out a specific practical action, etc. The most important word in that entire sentence is the word etc. The most important word in that sentence is the word etc. Why? Because look at what it does. It can cure disease. That's one. It can bring good luck. It can make people behave the way you want them to behave, or carry out an action, etc. It does what you want it to do. Why? Because that particular thought form is anchored in that coin. You understand the concept of thought forms? You understand that the thought form can be anchored in an object, happy, in the object. And so therefore, anytime someone touches that object, it has that corresponding behavior, curing disease, bringing good luck. So for me, every time I have this, it's like, I feel very happy, I feel very refreshed. A cup of tea or my glass of water is getting charged up with good, happy energies. I feel good and energized. And given how much I make you write and type in the chats, I'm sure that my thought forms and my amulets are doing a decent enough job, right? It's all about surrounding yourselves with positive psychological response evoking objects. And what most touch pieces have in common is they have to be touched or in close physical contact for the power to be transferred. Second paragraph, you see that the power has to be touched in order to be transferred. Once this is achieved, the power is assumed to be permanently present in the coin, which effectively becomes an amulet. So if any of you have seen some of the saints or mystics preparing amulets for you, they'll write something, it's scribbled on something, they'll chant a mantra into it, they'll say a specific prayer into it, and then they're going to seal it. They usually seal it inside a metallic or some kind of an object, and it's permanently enclosed over there. You notice this kind of thing is there in many cultures. It's very popular, especially in India. But they have to be in physical contact with you. They have to be on your body, on a necklace. It has to be in contact with your skin at all times for the power to take place. I remember this one when I was very young. I was going through a spate of physical injury. I would fall and break a bone, and then something happened to my leg, and this and that. And so my parents, they consulted a fakir, and that's a Muslim holy man. They consulted this Baba, and the man prepared an amulet for me, which would hang at my solar plexus. Okay, the string was there; it would hang right at my solar plexus, and I wore that. So, personally, I'm not a big fan of wearing jewelry. My hands will never usually don't have rings or crystals or bracelets or anything on them, and so wearing that object on my body was a very alien experience. And maybe it was what they told me or what I started believing. I started believing that I was protected. And so there was no harm coming to my system. I was all good. And then after, I think 2 or 3 years, somehow the clasp of that amulet broke and it disappeared. I've never seen it again. So they say that when such things happen, it served its purpose, it's done its job, and it goes on its own way. And the purpose is sorted out. Well, from a pranic perspective, from an energetic perspective, we can say that the object has been saturated with negative energy because it has absorbed the energy from your aura, and now it's so heavy that it's gone. So that's one way of looking at it. So what do? You keep cleaning it out. Have you done crystal pranic healing? Pranic healing with crystals? How many of you have done that? So, okay, maybe it's going to be a shorter answer to ask how many have not done that. Okay, do it, because it tells you how to clean your special objects. It tells you how you can clean them and consecrate them and have the energy coming through. So as far as coins are concerned, in many countries, it was believed that coins with holes in them would bring good luck. That's not because the energy is passing through, but then it can pass on to you and you can hold on to it. Chances are you would have seen this particular type of coins in many Chinese restaurants or many monasteries or pagodas. You've seen these, right? So that's one thing, you can have that. I have a couple of these received as gifts on my travels, hanging in different parts of my home. I feel good when I see them. And if they are bringing in more prosperity, so be it. Okay. So if you're going to ask how many of these should we have, where should we place them? Again, what resonates with you? It has to look good. Now, on your screen, you might see this background image over here. I'm just highlighting it with my mouse. There's a little boat, this Ignat, with more coins in it. Sometimes there are these plastic knockoff varieties of these things. Okay, you might get them in wholesale shops or some retailers are selling them. It's supposed to be gold. So if you can get the original thing, it's going to be expensive, but get the original thing. If it's plastic and you look at it and you say, it's plastic, it's that, are you surrounding yourself with an object that evokes a positive response or a negative one? What are you priming your mind towards? Which one? So be careful of that. If you're going to go for it, go for the right one, go for the proper one. Don't go for the cheap knockoff, because that's what's going to be in your mind space at all times. And you've already realized by now how powerful your mind is in shaping your reality. Okay, moving on to the next one. Have you seen this particular shape anywhere? The Laughing Buddha. I mean, of course, for all the retreat attendants, you know which one we're talking about, but you can't play a recording of that. Okay, although it makes you smile immediately. I like having these private Arhatic yoga jokes, retreat jokes with people. It's like, yeah, we know stuff. So, Laughing Buddha symbolizes joy, contentment, and good fortune, often depicted with a big belly and a sack of blessings. So you rub the belly for extra luck, representing a playful approach towards prosperity, right? So remember the Ken Honda experiment from last time? Thank you, money, for coming into my life. And you're spending money. Thank you, money, for coming into my life. Goodbye for bringing this object into my space. Come back again soon. Bring your friends and family. Come back very soon. Remember that one from last time? Yeah, it was fun, right? It was a playful approach towards money. It was a playful approach towards money. Question: did any of you try that experiment out while you were actually spending money on anything? Any of you tried that out? You did? What was the result of that? What was the result of that? I'm hoping it brought more money back to you. So for the Laughing Buddha, where you want to do it is you want to place the statue in a prominent area, ideally looking at your door. So this is my office. I have a cabinet over there to my side, which is pointed towards looking at the center of my door, my entryway into my office. So the statue is oriented to look straight at the center of my entryway. So if you have a Laughing Buddha statue at home or anywhere, don't place it in any random direction. There's no compulsion about keeping it facing north or south or east or anything. The direction of that, the most important factor for the Laughing Buddha statue is that it has to look at your main entrance. It has to look at your main entrance from where the energy is coming into your house. So in your apartment or at your home, at your office, wherever it is, point that statue towards the main entrance. Now, if you're in a shared working space or you're sharing space with many, many people, then it might not be as great of an idea to have the Laughing Buddha statue there. Probably a lucky bamboo is better off. But at your home, point it towards the main entrance. Try and avoid in the bathroom. Try and avoid in the bedroom. Living room, okay, yeah, sure. Entryway is where I found it to be the most potent, the most powerful. If it's an open plan office, I would be say better off to have a lucky bamboo instead of the Laughing Buddha. It's better to have the Laughing Buddha at your home to bring in prosperity towards your home. I mean, you can do that for your office. You just be making your boss and company that much more powerful. Okay, so keep the surrounding area clean in order to maintain a clear flow of abundance. And I cannot emphasize this enough. This is the crux of the entire thing. Your space must be clean. I'll say that again. Your space must be clean. You've heard the saying, right? Cleanliness is next to godliness. Have you heard this saying? Yes or no? If you heard it, say yes in the chat. Y-E-S, yes. Capital yes. Capital yes. No, this is a Y-E-S, not just a Y. Yes. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Keep your space clean. Keep your space physically clean. Prosperity energy will automatically come. Prosperity energy will automatically come. You'll be literally clearing the space for more opportunities to come to you. So that's a very important thing. The next one we can talk about is a prosperity frog. Many people resonate, many people don't. This one has, again, the same kind of thing. It positioned the frog facing inward from your main entrance. So if it's at the main entrance, it's inward, okay? So that the money is drawn inside. Laughing Buddha is looking at the entrance. Prosperity frog facing inward from the main entrance. You need to put it a little elevated at a slightly higher level because the frog is a low-lying creature. You want it a slightly higher level so that the money can flow in at, chest height, waist height. Place some coins underneath. Some people put plastic coins or old coins. My recommendation, my pro tip for this, try and place coins which are currently in circulation. Try and place coins from your own currency, in the currency that you want to earn in, that have current circulation. Now, you might put ancient coins and they don't have much value or they don't have much sale value. Put a recent currency coin over there around it. That brings in more energy. Right? Clear? All good? Moving on. Now, this is a very interesting one. This is very directly connected to the teachings of Buddhism. These are the 8 symbols of, okay, so someone's asked the question, Jayesh, is what about the coin in the mouth of the frog? Most of these statues of these prosperity frogs come with a coin already in the mouth. They already come with a coin in the mouth. In case you get a statue where the coin is not there, then you can just take a coin that's in circulation or something that you feel really good about and then place it over there. Okay, place it right in over there. But 99% chances are that they come with the coin in the mouth already prefabricated. Right. So the next one is the Ashtamangala. In Buddhism, these are the 8 symbols of good fortune, which represent the offerings made by the gods to Lord Buddha immediately after he got enlightenment. Okay. These 8 auspicious symbols, and we'll go through all of them, they are very prominent. You probably have seen them in all the monasteries, in all the various auspicious places. So I'm just going to give you a very quick look over here. See that? You see that? Of course, there's a picture of Master Chokuksi right there. So that anytime there's a session, the blessings of the Guru are always right there on top of the head. So, it's not just what you see that impacts, it's also a lot of what you don't see. That makes a big difference in how everything is going. Right. So let's look at what these are. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. This is very common public knowledge. This is super common public knowledge. Please feel free to take a screenshot of this. And it's very self-explanatory on what all of them represents. Having a wall hanging, or, like I've got over here, an art piece that represents any one of these symbols brings in that kind of good luck. Okay, so you've got the parasol, the conch shell, the treasury vase, the victory banner, the dharma wheel, the golden fish, the endless knot. What I've got on my wall is the endless knot, okay? Because it represents the endless cycle of birth and rebirth, also represents the infinite flow of money. Because as you're coming in for another incarnation, another life, you need to have certain resources in order to be able to fulfill your work and your duties. So Master Ko says this a lot. Money in the hands of good people can change the world. So if you're a good person and you've got a lot of money, you can use a lot of that money to change the world around you. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. So you have to ask yourself, if I don't have money, am I not a good person? That's a very interesting question to ask, right? So you can place this particular wall hanging more or less anywhere around the house. You can place them on the east wall. Most people prefer the eastern wall, but these ones, they have the flexibility that you can place them anywhere. So I've got a variety of them in different parts of my home. Some are on the western wall, some on the southern wall, some outside the doors, some hanging on windows. They can be placed more or less anywhere. You have the flexibility of doing that. There's no hard and fast rule about placement. The one thing which I have found that makes a difference is if you can keep it above your head height, like at a slightly higher level, then the energy flows in better. So that's been a personal discovery. I'm not sure how much this applies to other people because these are, again, personal observations, but you can place them more or less in any particular location. That should be good, right? Clear on this? Can I move on? Yeah. This is the Maneki Neko. It's a very popular Japanese talisman, often seen in businesses and homes. And you've seen this cat, right? You've seen it in maybe some movies or some restaurants. It's got this hand motion going on, bringing in good luck. Right? Right hand, left hand. I think it's the left hand that does the bringing in. Okay. The raised paw is said to beckon good fortune and customers. And there are different kinds of color variations. You've got gold, you've got red, you've got green, and combinations thereof, which can bring in a lot of prosperity. And most usually, this is placed near cash registers to invite positive energy flow. Okay. And the fun thing is, and this is a personal theory, is that cats are often sometimes also seen as guardians. Okay. They remove, rodents. And how many of you have cats over here? Any cat people in the room? Cat people in the room? Yeah. Okay. Say meow. I mean, don't just say meow just because I said so, but you will. Cat people cannot help themselves. You say meow, they'll say meow. Okay, they'll just say meow. And one time, this friend of mine, he'd flown in from Turkey, and he wanted to read the book Achieving Oneness with the Higher Soul. So we gifted him a copy. And he goes home, he places it on his bed. He's back in Istanbul, and his cat, well, he says it's his cat. We say it's his permanent roommate. His permanent roommate comes in, and she sits on the book and falls asleep with the picture of the 12th chakra right there, and she's there. So he sends me the photo, and I say, Katma Namaste. Not just Atma, Katma. Fun thing, cats have this ability to remove some amount of negativity. Dogs, by the way, have the ability to absorb negativity. They can really, they're very powerful in removing negativity from the owner's space. And cats have the ability to repel it. So dogs absorb to a large extent, cats repel. Okay. Clear on this? Maneki Neko, this is very applicable, especially if you're running a retail business or if you've got somewhere where billing is happening. This small one makes a big difference. Again, try to go for a high quality one. Try to go for something high quality that the moment you look at it, you feel good about it, instead of something which is, plastic and looks like a cheap knockoff, right? For these ones, go in for the ones that have been made in China. Some of them are really high quality. And if you have both cats and dogs, then you are a good person. Okay, let's move on to the next then. Sri Yantra. How many people here have seen the Sri Yantra before? Probably as a two-dimensional object. No, it's new for many people. It's familiar for a lot of people. This is represented in the three-dimensional space. I'm not sure how relevant the next sentence is, but scientists, when they're doing their experiments on dark matter and dark energy, and they're working with photons, light particles, they found that at certain charges, at certain points in time, the two particles of energy, they trace out this particular pattern when certain frequencies are played. Okay, when certain frequencies are played, they generate this kind of a movement pattern. So you can think of all these lines as the path of a pattern that's moving around in a certain space. And this vibration, this particular vibration, it has a lot of sacred tradition, culture attached to it. It represents the union of both the divine masculine and feminine energies, and it's often used in meditation or placed on altars to invite abundance. Now, this is also a part of the yantra. It's a yantra, which means it's a vehicle. You see that part where it says it represents the union of the divine masculine and feminine energies. Okay. Why is this important? Why is this important? See, according to certain esoteric teachings, well, and according to also human biology, it is the female energy that creates life. Okay. The male has a short-term job, puts in the consciousness, puts in the energy there. The female brings and births the whole thing, puts all the material to it. That's a known concept, right? Okay, you tell a man to birth a kid and he's going to be like, what? Okay. And that male energy is what is known as Purusha. Okay. It is pure consciousness. And the female energy is known as Prakriti or Mula Prakriti, which is pure matter. So combination of consciousness and matter births new life. So this triangular energy, it represents the male energy, which has the capability of going up. And the downward pointing triangle represents the female energy, which has the ability to birth and bring into existence. So if you look at the pattern, it's a lot of triangles pointed up and down. Do you notice that? It's a lot of triangles pointed up and down. The central point, which is called the Bindu, you notice there's that one over here, right there. Yeah. In the two-dimensional format, it just looks like a dot. It's actually raised all the way up. Focus on that when you meditate in order to give your mind a certain focus. You can use the Sri Yantra to prime your mind. You can concentrate on the dots and all the pathways that lead up to it to focus on prosperity, abundance, spirituality, etc., etc., etc. So this ideally should be on the eastern side. It's not usually seen as a wall hanging, but more as a piece, a showpiece, if you will, to be placed somewhere on a prominent display, very nicely lit. So they can be made of gold or silver. Sometimes they're made of brass and copper, depending on whichever one that you want. And they're placed on a square-ish kind of tray. You'll notice that the tray over here, it's got certain protrusions. There's one visible on this side as well. They have a certain element to it. There are other elements, the triangle there, the waves there, the sun there. There are other patterns, squares and all over there, which have a certain 4 elements binding kind of thing to it. Okay. So you can use this particular one and use it, focus on it. If you just keep it over there as a decoration, it's partially useful. It's partially useful. If you focus on it, if you meditate on it, if you really utilize it, it's going to become stronger and stronger. Why? Same example as this one. Objects that evoke a positive psychological response. I believe this makes a difference, and therefore it does make a difference. Yep. Right. Okay, let's go on to the next. The infinity knot, and this particular one has many variations. Again, the one I have over here on my wall, which I showed you some time back, that is a version of the infinity knot. There are the Celtic versions, there are the Egyptian versions, there are the Chinese, Japanese, Indian, and some of them look like the swastika, some of them look like the traditional knot. Various types. The representation is the same. The unlimited nature, the infinite nature of the universe itself. And you can use this to remind yourself, that's what point number 2 says, to remind practitioners of the continuous growth and the limitless flow of energy. So you can have it there on the wall, look at it and say, yes, I am an infinite being. I'm a being of infinite light. I'm connected to God, one with God and one with all. Therefore, I have access to all of these resources as well. if you go back to the previous session about, how much money do you want and why do you want it, what you're going to use it for, this is another tool to help remind you that I am an infinite being, therefore I have access to infinite resources to do good. Makes sense, right? So that's another symbol which you can use. Now, this goes into the Nordic side of things. The Feho rune is part of the Elder Futhark runic alphabet, and it symbolizes wealth, success, and tangible rewards. And I love that word. It symbolizes tangible rewards. Yeah, the Feho rune. It's commonly drawn on items or kept in view to maintain a growth mindset. You're going up and branching out. So now there are many, many runes. Okay, runes is a separate course in and of itself. Right? How many of you read Harry Potter, the Harry Potter books? Are you familiar with the Harry Potter books? Over there was Hermione Granger, one of the Golden Trio. She has a class on runes, on runic alphabets. So you can use the runes to create certain responses. There are some which are used for protection, some which are used for repelling negativity, some which are used to control other people, some which are used to, again, attract prosperity, and so on and so forth. The main point which I'm trying to sort of drive at is that all of these are simply symbolical reminders that accelerate and enhance your own prosperity. The Manekineko by itself, the Feho rune by itself, the infinite knot by itself is not going to bring cash into your account. It's not going to bring business into your account. What it will do is it'll remind you that you have the ability to purify yourself, to work on your own mind and your own mindset, and therefore identify opportunities and bring them in. So are they themselves prosperous? Up to you. Depends. Do they have the ability to change your mindset? Oh, yes, absolutely. So if it does have an effect on your mindset, on how you think, you will be able to make the difference. Now, that said, let me train you on something. You want to be trained on something? Very interesting, right? Go back to your phone home screen. Go back to your phone home screen. Go to all the apps, not the main screen. Go to all the apps and identify how many apps maximum you have on your screen. Right? Like, that's my home screen. But if I unlock it and go here, like, how many apps do you have? Have you made a note? Done? Done? All right, keep your phones aside. Just come back to the main Zoom screen. Come back to the main Zoom screen. And the question I'm going to ask you is, what was the time? And the question I'm going to ask you is, what was the time? Now, you'll notice many of you actually noted what the time was. A great many of you would have noted what the time was. Yes or no? Yes or no? Why? You have been primed to it. You have been already primed into it to look at the time, to look at what it was. Therefore, you are already in a state of being able to identify the blind spots that prevent you from becoming wealthy. So what we're going to do is we're now at, someone looked at the time first. There you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to more or less, since I made you look at the time, that means we're at the end of today's session. What you can do is chant this affirmation, and we're going to chant it along with. Just sit with your spine straight. We're going to have to say this 3 times. We're going to say it 3 times. Sit with your spine straight. If you can face north or if you can face east, that's fantastic. If not, doesn't matter. If you can, awesome. If not, doesn't matter. All right. Now you have to say this out verbally. You're going to have to say it out verbally. So I'll read it out. I'll wait for a second, and then you follow along with. The intention is to attract prosperity. Your intention, you are primed to attracting prosperity. What did I say? Say it aloud. This is for what? Attracting prosperity. Say it with me. Attracting prosperity. Attracting prosperity. Ready? So sit with your spine straight. You can read from the screen along with. Lord God, thank you for blessing me with the virtue of generosity and non-stealing, and a compassionate, generous heart, that I may give and share to those in need. Thank you also for blessing my life with abundance, wealth, and riches, with thanks and in full faith. Lord God, thank you for blessing me with the virtue of generosity and non-stealing, and a compassionate, generous heart, that I may give and share to those in need. Thank you also for blessing my life with abundance, wealth, and riches. With thanks and in full faith. Lord God, thank you for blessing me with the virtue of generosity and non-stealing and a compassionate, generous heart, that I may give and share to those in need. Thank you also for blessing my life with abundance, wealth, and riches. With thanks and in full faith. Right? Okay. Please scan your auras. Please scan your auras now. And what difference do you see? There are 55 of us over here in this room. Scan the overall collective energy. What difference do you see? Very strong, super dense, big. Do you notice it has actually made a big impact in the overall size? Group effort makes all that difference. Group effort makes all that difference. So with this, we come to a close of first the mindset and then the symbols. Would you like to anchor some of this energy into your life? Would you like to? All right. This requires that you physically gather at the center and meditate. This requires that the energy, so you have to scan and check and tell me, if this energy is anchored in your homes individually, what is the strength? Vis-a-vis, if the energy is anchored in a central location and everyone goes there to take that energy a couple of times a week, please scan and check which one has more energy. Which one has more energy? Individually or at the center as a group? Center as a group. Center as a group. Center as a group. So Master Choa has a saying that when people gather together as a group, the higher beings are forced to appear. When people gather together as a group, the higher beings automatically appear. So you can be meditating on your own on this, but as a group, it's simply exponentially higher. So would you be willing to take this energy home by visiting the center a couple of times a week? Yes or no? Yes, I can see the enthusiastic responses. Yes, I can see. Are you going to go over there and take the energy and bring it and make it a part of your life? Yes or no? Yes or no? There we go. There we go. When you put that energy there automatically, now scan your energy, now scan yourself. That intention and that showing up physically is going to bring in that much more energy into your space. You can just scan and check. Don't believe what I have to say just because I'm so charismatic. I am. What you going to do? See it? You feel it? It makes a difference, right? So put your hands at chest level. Put your hands at chest level. Visualize the center. Okay, so I've got the Pranic Healing East Africa. I have the logo in my mind. With the help and blessings of God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, with the help of Master Choa Kok Sui, Lord Mahaguruji Mailing, all the great ones, may the prosperity energy generated by this session, may the positive thought forms of prosperity, abundance, wealth, and spirituality, with the goodwill and the will to do good, may they be anchored permanently in the Pranic Healing East Africa Center now. Say it now, 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 now. May the prosperity, abundance, healing energies, spiritual energies, may the energies of abundance and prosperity and spirituality with goodwill and the willingness to do good be anchored permanently, completely at all levels, physically, etherically, astrally, mentally, and spiritually at the Pranic Healing East Africa Center now, 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 now. May all participants who meditate at the center be blessed with the energies of abundance, prosperity, and spirituality. So be it, so be it, so be it, and so it is. Now just visualize the energy going deep into the center, 3 meters, 10 meters, or 50 feet, 100 feet, growing roots, growing subroots, growing tertiary roots. The energy is anchored there permanently. It is glowing golden and radiating outwards. And every time you go there, your aura turns into gold as well. You become prosperous. With the help and blessings of God, may the energy be anchored at the center. So be it, so be it, so be it, and so it is now. When you're done, release. Cut, cut, cut. Open your eyes with a big, big smile. How do you feel? Feeling good? Okay, let's give a little vote of thanks. Today, I have managed to stay exactly to my timeline without causing any delays for everybody. So, yay. Let's bow our heads a little bit in reverence to the universal supreme God and our spiritual teacher. And we feel this gratitude that he has given us access to these priceless teachings, and that we are blessed to be able to understand them, to apply them, and to make our lives better. Keeping this in mind, we say to the Supreme Being of God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to Lord Mahaguruji Meling, to Master Chua Kok Sui, I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, recognize the spiritual teacher within you. I, the soul, am super receptive, super conductive on all levels to the divine energies passing through you. Now feel this gratitude. Offer it to the teacher. You can visualize the teacher asking you that, is this what you want to give me, this gratitude? And you say, yes, Atma Master Chua Kok Sui. And the teacher blesses it. And what do you say when you get a blessing? You say, thank you, Atma Master Chua Kok Sui. With gratitude, respect, and love. Once more, to the Supreme Being, Lord Parabrahman, I, the soul, humbly salute you. Salutations to Lord Mahaguruji Meling. Atma Master Chua Kok Sui, Namaste. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, recognize the spiritual teacher within you. I, the soul, am super receptive, super conductive on all levels to the divine energies passing through you. Again, raise this energy to the teacher. Say, this is the love, the gratitude that we're giving to the teacher. And as the teacher looks at it, he asks you for confirmation. So what do you say? Yes, Atma, Master Chua Kok Sui. And he blesses it. He blesses your life. He blesses your work and your finances and your spiritual practice. So with all that gratitude in your heart, you say, thank you, Atma, Master Chua Kok Sui. With gratitude, respect, and love. One more time. To the Supreme Being, Lord Parabrahman, salutations. Salutations to Lord Mahaguruji Meling. Atma, Master Chua Kok Sui, Namaste. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, recognize the spiritual teacher within you. I, the soul, am super receptive, super conductive on all levels to the divine energies passing through you. Yes, Atma, Master Chua Kok Sui. Thank you, Atma, Master Chua Kok Sui. With gratitude, respect, and love. Thank you. Gently open your eyes. How are you feeling? How's everyone doing? Downpour, huh? Lots of energy coming in. Lots of energy coming in. So please take this time to bless your wishes, to bless your Kriya Shaktis and goals. Jai Shri Shamanaji, thank you so much for having me here. I look forward to whenever we have our next session. Thank you for this opportunity to be of service, and thank you everyone for taking the time out. I hope this was of help.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this lovely session. I'm sure most of the people participating today will have benefited from it. And my plea to them is to put it in action, so that let us give that respect to the time Arka has spent with us to share this knowledge and wisdom, which is also coming through Master Chua Kok Sui and his teacher Lord Mahaguruji Meli, and ultimately from God. So thank you. We really appreciate your session and your time that you spend with us. And we are very, very grateful for this session.